So my big don't flinch moment came, I was working in Burbank, California as a starving actor, working overnights at FedEx Kinko's. And it's 1:30 in the morning, and in walks Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years. Winnie Cooper from the Wonder Years. And I'm a 1980 baby, born in 1980, so Wonder Years came out in 1988, and I was just discovering what, girls were all about. And Winnie Cooper was the first girl, in my mind, right? Winnie Cooper was my first girlfriend in my mind. And so maybe you have one. So for the rest of this story, just replace it. Is it Greg Brady? Is it one of the Waltons? I don't know. I don't care who you are. But just as I go through this story, just imagine that person, right? So she comes walking in, and I tell my coworker, it's 1:30 in the morning, so there's just two of us there, and I tell my coworker, I say, Derek, you have the rest of the store, I have her. He says, okay, that's fine, that's fine. She goes into the self-service area, and we're all familiar with, they're called FedEx Office now, right? Or they were called Kinko's, right? You're all familiar with the Kinko's. Well, a little insider information about a Kinko's. In that self-serve area, I swear that we installed a copier that would always break down. Have you been to that one? You've been to that copier? Yeah, so she walks right over to copier number 5, which is the copier that always breaks down. And I'm thanking the good, and I'm saying, please, Lord, don't let that thing work for once. Don't let this happen, because I think I have a real chance here to be her knight in shining armor, right? So that's what I'm thinking. So she's out there making her copies. I'm going to do a little research. I go to the internet to do some e-stalking, and I type in Winnie Cooper. And it turns out she has a real name. Danica McKellar. Great. I read on a little further. Turns out she's a math genius. She took 4 years off of acting and went to UCLA and co-authored a proof. I mean, she's like a real math genius. Really smart thing. This is great. This is good information to know. All of a sudden, I feel her walking up, right? As I'm here, she's there, and I feel, so I quick minimize so she doesn't see that I'm looking at photos of her online, which isn't weird. And she says the copier broke down. Big surprise there. I know copier number 5. I knew it was going to break down. I know exactly where that jam is. Don't flinch, Jack. Don't flinch. Go with this. You got this. You got this. Unjammed it. Knight in shining armor. I'm feeling pretty good about myself. Now keep in mind a couple things about this story. Is that Winnie Cooper, maybe you saw her in Dancing with the Stars recently, she looks like this. And here I am thinking I'm going to do pretty well, but I look like this. So, but I'm going to play through this. I'm going to play through this, right? So I unjam the jam, knight in shining armor, feeling good about myself, and she says, do you guys have ink cartridges? And I said, yeah, we do have ink cartridges. And she goes, great. So we walk over there, and we're trying to match up the number, and it never makes any sense. Why your printer number 5200 has ink cartridge 1799, I will never know. But they do. And she goes, oh, I don't know my printer number. So I said, well, matching your printer number to your ink cartridge number, you'd have to be a math major. To which she said, actually, I was a math major. And I said, no. Can't be so. Can't be so. So she ends up not getting the ink cartridge, and then she starts talking to me at the counter. Sort of like she's buying folders and a couple of random things. Why she was there at 1:30 in the morning, I can't even answer that. But she was, so we're talking a little bit. And I said, I don't mean to be weird, but are you Danica McKellar? And she lit up. Why? Because everybody always said, you're Winnie Cooper! Like she was ready for me to be like, Winnie Cooper, what's up, Winnie? No, I know you. I get you. I read all about you 30 seconds ago. I understand who you are. I get it. We're together. And we end up talking for an hour. We ended up chatting for an hour. Mostly now, I'm not gonna hype this up too much. It's mostly about acting and other things like that. But after an hour, she says, will you walk me to my car? Yeah, big gulp there. Big gulp. And I wish at that moment I had a Jets jacket to drape around her shoulders, the way Kevin used to. But I didn't. I just had that toner. I just had that in case you forgot what I was wearing. But it was still one of those moments, you know, it was just... And you know, it confirmed for me in the Wonder Years. Because remember how Kevin, in the Wonder Years, he could hear his adult voice in his head 20-some years later? Well, that's a real effect of Winnie Cooper. I could hear my adult voice talking about this 20 years in the future. It was so cool. It was so exciting. But never have I been more disappointed to find a BMW, which was her car. Because, I don't know, in my mind's eye, I just thought she still had the banana seat bike with the coming off of there. And I had a real don't flinch moment. I said, can I get a hold of you sometime in the future? And she gave me her information. Winnie Cooper and I are friends. So I do, and we'll talk about this phenomenon a little bit later, I do what all the cool kids do. I wait a couple days, right? I got her information, but I'm going to wait, right? Because I'm going to let her just simmer on it because I'm not thinking about it 24/7, not sleeping or anything like that. That's not me. So I email her, and she emails right back. And I email her right back. Nothing. About a month passes. I decide, I'm going to try this again. I email her, she emails right back. I email right back. Nothing. This goes on a couple times before I'm like, okay, she's just being friendly and being nice. And then a couple months pass, and I get an Evite, the good old-fashioned Evite. Those are kind of gone, aren't they? This was like a mass email Evite, and I'm like, okay, it's Winnie Cooper, well, Danica McKellar, for those of you following the script here. Danica McKellar, birthday party. And I thought this has to be a mistake, because all the recipients are hidden, right? So it just must be a mistake. How do I play this? It doesn't ask for an RSVP. Don't flinch, Jack. Don't flinch. This is my moment last month. You know, this story is pretty long. So my don't flinch moment, I just have this chance. How do you do this? No RSVP. But I don't want to show up, right? And just be a surprise. You don't want that. So that morning, I email her and say, hey, I'm looking forward to your party. And she says, looking forward to seeing you. So I show up to this thing, and it's a boot hockey game, which in this state is not that weird. But in Culver City, California, where there's like one arena for a 50-mile radius, that's an odd thing. But every year for her birthday, she has a boot hockey game. And I show up, and it's all ages 6 to 76, and I realize really quickly that this is Winnie Cooper's family birthday party. And I'm invited with a handful of other people who are duct taping, literally, you know, we have broom balls on every corner, those sticks that you can just buy, but in California you have to buy a broom and duct tape it. And so there's guys over there just like talking like, and we exchanged information. It sounds like other people had similar experiences to this. And Winnie Cooper and I became sort of friends. I'm one of her 38 LinkedIn friends. And I thought one of my friends was punking me when that happened. She reached out to me a couple months ago. I want to be your LinkedIn friend. So I had to like trace to see that all of her friends weren't, you know, they've seen Catfish, the show Catfish. They thought I was being catfished by one of my buddies. But no, so this whole friendship and nothing romantic happened there. And that's where the letdown comes. Like, oh, what? No. Winnie Cooper, you remember that look she used to give Kevin? Where you weren't sure if she was going to kiss him or slap him? That's not acting. That was always on her face. I could never really read, but it was such a cool adventure that I went on. It was such a cool little journey. And now I have this lifelong, Danica McKellar is now a lifelong friend. And that adventure came from a don't flinch